The Fusion.
Radio Cayman Energy.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, Cayman. I am back. That's right. This is your host, Kathy Miller. After an amazing 2-week vacation, I am back, and I've brought the vacation vibes with me. I can tell you that. I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and it is the most lit place I've ever been in my entire life. If you want to go to Brazil, absolutely make that trip. But maybe go to a few other places first, because once you go to Brazil, you're going to keep wanting to go back. I promise you that. And I only touched Rio. There's so much of that country to explore, and I just absolutely can't wait to return. So more on that another little time, because I had some really great experiences in Rio that I would love to share with listeners. And we got a full day this morning, at least, on the Buzz. So I can't talk about my trip so much, which is okay, not a problem, because we got some very exciting things happening. And one of my favorite events of the year, which kicks off today, we are talking about Cayman Art Week in this first segment of the Buzz. So Cayman Art Week is here. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's bolder than ever. There's so much going on. There's over 60 events. We have over 50 here, but now there's over 60 events, as I'm finding out. There's 10 galleries, 12 studios, 5 museums, and art popping up all across the 3 islands. So our sister islands also have amazing events planned for Cayman Art Week. It's running today up to the 31st of May. Joining me this morning in studio is the woman who helped make this cultural movement what it is today. So I'd like to welcome Natalie Urquhart. She's the founder of Cayman Art Week. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. And I love that we're talking about culture everywhere coming off
Yes.
the back of your vacation, which sounds incredible.
Yes.
It's on my bucket list, Brazil. So we're going to talk off air afterwards about that.
No problem. You're going to eat a lot of meat. So I hope you like meat, picana, out of everything. It's like, I feel like a baby cow. I ate literally a baby cow while I was away. But that's okay.
That's good. Protein is good for you, right? That's
Very
what they
good.
say nowadays. So,
Yes, I don't really eat beef, so
yeah.
I
But
got
what
my
a
years
culture
full.
as well. I mean, just as, culture everywhere. And that's what we're going to be seeing as well this week. And of
Yes.
course, we live and breathe our culture in Cayman, but it's great to see all sorts of events and Carnival last weekend coming together so that we can really express that creativity all the way through the year.
May's a great month, and I forget what do they want to call it? The cultural, like a cultural month, a heritage
I think
month?
it's Heritage Month, but of course that stretches Culture Month as well, because a lot of these events are looking at developmental culture as well as honouring our traditional heritage. And I think that is what makes Art Week so exciting. It's a very, it's about an art market. It's helping create a platform for sustainable creativity in terms of art sales, but it's also a place to get to know and celebrate our visual arts. So a lot of our artists out there are honouring their heritage by, capturing traditions. We know people like Nasaria and Randy Chalette do this throughout their work. Chris Christian, all of these different artists that maybe are telling the story of our past. But equally, there's very contemporary work out there, and it's work in every single medium of art that you can imagine, from traditional painting, sculpture, photography, installation, film, sound installations. As whatever you can dream, you'll probably see out there this week.
Awesome. That sounds great. Sound installations will be a little new for me to see at Cayman Art Week, so I'd love to see that if you've got that
Absolutely,
going
and
on.
fashion as well. Of course, we're going to see the amazing Al Ebanks having an intervention tomorrow night at the National Gallery launch event. So much going on.
All right, so let's kick off.
Yeah.
Let's kick off. What is the schedule looking like for this week?
So, as you said, we've got over 60 events. There are 60 venues this year. So we have all the traditional galleries that run throughout the year, and I want to give them a big, big shout out because they do the work throughout the 365 days of the year, supporting artists selling their work. We also then have what we call pop-ups, which are sort of collaborations between artists and other venues that you might frequent during the year, maybe your local coffee shop or maybe some empty real estate around the corner from your house. So we see art sort of taking over, and this is sort of the visual arts primarily, taking over these spaces. And there are 32 pop-ups this year. We have some late arrivals, which we're really excited about. So they haven't made the bus tour, but we're still helping promote what they're doing. We have the Catboat Club are involved. Charles Gilman is going to be doing some work there with Horacio Esteban, which is a late arrival, but very exciting. So don't miss that one. And so, looking at traditions, but also a very, very contemporary moment that's multicultural, that's bringing in influences from all over the place and travels as well, like you said.
What year are we in for Cayman
We're
Art
in
Week?
year 6. So this started in lockdown. And it was an idea I had literally when we were all sitting there going, how can we help artists? As we did with musicians, there were grants and things like that. But really, we rely on the tourist industry to sell work primarily. We have a young, what we call art market, which is the sale of art. We have galleries that have been established for over 30 years, but we have a small economy here for the arts and we're trying to grow that. So Art Week was really founded to do that, was to respond to this idea that artists needed to sell their work during lockdown. And it's just kind of exploded. So what started off, it's about 23 venues, because of course we have those open studios where artists let us into their studios. That often doesn't happen throughout the year, which is exciting. And now it's 60 because you're seeing all of these venues themselves wanting to support artists during Art Week. And so it's kind of exploded. And as we said, it's always been deeply rooted as our platform in the Sister Islands, as well as Grand Cayman. So we have 5 venues in the Sister Islands being led by Simone Scott and Gordon Solomon, with support from Saskia Edwards at Heritage House. And then Little Cayman, we have the Seahorse Boutique, we have Debbie Trushan's studio, and we have the Little Cayman Museum and the National Trust getting involved with some workshops as well.
I love it. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
From when you started to where we are now with Cayman Art Week, I mean, I hope you're proud of yourself. But what has been, I guess, your favorite element of growth that you've seen over these years?
I think probably the numbers. I've been working in the art sector for over 20 years now, and it's been growth throughout, right? And obviously my day job at the National Gallery, we do a lot of developmental work as well as showcasing the National Art Collection and things like that. So it's been great to see the moment for an art week. Obviously 15 years ago it might not have had the same success. So I think just that journey in and of itself. I also love working with our Cayman Art Week team. We have the most amazing group of powerhouse women doing their thing, from Susanna DeSaram doing communications to the amazing Kelly Holdings team, Pam Brown, Megan Ebanks and Melanie Cumber, and Katie O'Neill doing photography. So it's a real pleasure to kind of work with them every year. Half of us are volunteers. We just do this because we love to. But seeing what the venues themselves bring every year, because we don't know what's out there, right? We just help get it on a program. We help promote it. The website, caymanartweek.com, is where to find all the information. But I just can't wait to see some of these exhibitions, and to get inspired this year.
I love it. Well, art is one of my favorite things to buy when I go away, because I really want a super authentic piece of wherever I'm coming from.
100%.
And of course, when I went to Brazil, of course, I got some art pieces.
Excellent.
Very thriving art over there. I think it's so important. And when we have something like Cayman Art Week, as you said, we are discovering new artists. Like, I have some of my favorites. Gordon Solomon is one of my favorite local artists by far. I'm still dying to get my hands on one of his paintings.
You need to get to the BRAC for Cayman Art Week next year, so we'll send you over there. Maybe you can help cover it for us.
Hopefully you're listening, Gordon. And
well, he has a big opening tomorrow night as well in Cayman BRAC.
Excellent.
He is always our official BRAC launch party, so go and check out Gordon's studio. He's got a beautiful new show on the Fairweather Project, so the traditional Caymanian schooner that everyone's trying to preserve. And that's going to be a really interesting show.
Okay, that's great. So that's with Gordon. But we have got the opening night is happening
tomorrow night. It's going to be at the National Gallery, 7 till 9 p.m. And that's a really great place to come down, learn about the program for the week, because it's pretty intense. And, with over 60 venues, we really encourage people to get on the website or come to the gallery. We'll give you a list of those venues, the maps, because, of course, after that, every night, it's our hop-on, hop-off bus tours. Thursday is Core West, which is 7 Mile Beach. There's 20 venues across 7 Mile Beach. Our hub there is Camana Bay from 5 p.m. You can pick up the buses from 6 p.m. every 10 minutes from any venue. And then and that's being hosted in partnership with Kimpton Sea Fire and Hotel Indigo with Department of Tourism, Camana Bay. So many great partners this year. Friday night, of course, is our Georgetown event, kicking off at Cardinal Avenue from 5 p.m., held in partnership with the Ministry of Planning and the Georgetown Revitalization, who have been with us since day one. And again, it's every 10 minutes you can get a bus from any of the venues on the map. Georgetown's great because you can also walk it. We always forget how small Georgetown actually is. Although this year we are stretching out to Pure Art, who are kicking off a happy hour from 5 p.m. And we're also going into Industrial Park this year because there's 5 exciting new venues in Industrial Park, which will be, really fun to explore as well.
Oh, I feel like I know of one which was like an artisan kind of metal.
Yes, artisan metalwork.
Yes.
Then there's also now Celebrations are doing a pop-up with several artists.
Oh, lovely.
Ethan Kirkman, who started last year with a beautiful space, is doing a big group show. A guy called Magpie that does street art. So there's more of an urban vibe, as you can imagine, in Industrial Park, which is going to be fun. And then, of course, Saturday we have our Tour East. Core East Tour, which is a real favorite because you join us at sort of 9:30 and you stay on the bus until about 3. So it's more of a curated tour with an art tour guide, and we go all the way up to East End and cover some really exciting kind of hidden gems all the way up through Bodden Town, North Side, Grand Bellas and North Side. We've got a couple of studios in Bodden Town. And that you just join us at the National Gallery 9:30. So it's a bit of a different tour. There's a tour in Cayman Brack on Saturday as well from 3 p.m. at Heritage House, and that goes through 5 venues: Heritage House, Nim Things, Gordon Solomon Studio, Eldermeyer House with Simone Scott, and a great group show on traditional architectural heritage. We have the Time Back exhibition that everyone loves, the Community Archive, which is on show at the Brack Beach Resort in conjunction with the National Gallery. And then we head back to Heritage House. So so much going on.
Oh, lovely. That is a lot. That's part of your intense program right there.
It really is. And as you said earlier on, there's loads of panel discussions this year. So we're trying to build up content around what you see in terms of hearing from the artists themselves about their practice. I'm excited to be on a panel with Dane Ramoon and a visiting creative strategist called Dion Walcott, who's worked a lot with some kind of really big brands in the US about kind of the creative industries and how to make a living out of this work. Mm-hmm. There is an art educators panel. CNCF are hosting at Mind's Eye. We have the amazing Michael Mothen at Cayman Enterprise City talking about digital art. So many different discussions, and you can find all of this. We hope it's pretty easy to navigate on the website. There's a lot, CaymanArtWeek.com. So all of the 60 venues that we're talking about have their own venue profiles. So you can find out their locations, so you can navigate all of this on your own. You don't have to do the buses. Their contact details, the kind of artists that they're going to be featuring. And then from the events tab, we have drop downs per day to see all the different types of events that you can do each day as well. So it's great to go on there first, figure out how you want to do this and what type of art you want to see, but also come to the National Gallery and we can help you figure that out tomorrow evening from 7 p.m.
Is it free, the opening at the National Gallery?
It is free. All of these events are free. There might be some private events that are being hosted because we are the platform just to share that, but we don't sort of get involved in that. We don't get involved in the art sales. The only event that Art Week hosts that has a fee is our Core East tour for $10, purely so that we can buy refreshments for that long trip. And to make sure people show up. That really helps as well, right? You're investing in that day. Yes. But apart from that, this entire week is free. We're able to do that because we have some great partners. Susan Oldie's our patron. National Gallery is a lead partner. We have the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage joining us, which is really fantastic. Excited about that partnership. Department of Tourism, who are helping us grow this internationally because we really want to bring people from overseas. Again, as you said, to buy art while they're on vacation is critical to the sustainability of our art market. And then we have the venues themselves, all of these incredible venues that are hosting artists this year. They're all on the website as well. Cricket Square, Kamana Bay, Georgetown Revitalization in terms of the location venues. Flo's joining us this year, so we're going to have free Wi-Fi on all of our buses. So that's great because then you can navigate the website as you're on the bus to the next stop and learn about the artists that you're going to see. So many partners. This really is a community effort.
That's very handy, the Wi-Fi on the buses.
It really is. It's going to make a big difference.
For me, sometimes I like to think I'm a planner, but I'm not often. Yes. So with the last minute, while I'm on whatever I'm doing the tour, I'm trying to figure it out.
It's perfect. You've got 10 minutes. But the problem is on the buses, you meet so many great people that you end up chatting and forget to actually do your homework.
Yes. That's one of my favorite parts because you can go to Cayman Art Week solo. You are going to meet so many people. If you're doing the bus tour especially, you're on and off and you're just running into people constantly. You're not going to be alone. It's it's an inclusive society. I love it.
It is. It's really welcoming. You get to know some great people, and it's multi-generational, right? If you remember, Miss Francine Jackson last year was our first person to buy a piece of artwork, our national hero, on a preview night, which was Tuesday night last year. She's one of our biggest fans, and she loves this event. And then we have families coming out as well. So, art is for everybody. And each of these venues is really welcoming. They usually host some refreshments or some kind of like fun intervention, whether that's music, whether that's live demonstrations. And really importantly, most of the artists that they're featuring will be at their venues on these evening events. So it's a great time to kind of talk to the artists themselves, learn about their practice, and just learn some more about what's going on in the art sector.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break right now, and when we come back, we'll hear more about Cayman Art Week.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Cayman Art Week is back and bigger than ever, with art on show at over 50 venues across all 3 islands from Tuesday the 26th to Sunday the 31st of May. From one-off pop-ups and creative collaborations to open studios and late-night gallery hours, all events are free and there's art on sale for every budget. Join a guided bus tour or visit at your own pace. You'll find everything you need to know at CaymanArtWeek.com.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence.
Hi, I'm Tommy from TCE Paint Shop. Growing up, my favorite programs on Radio Cayman was News Hour, The Request Hour, then followed by the House of Gold with the Kincaids. I remember listening to this with my grandmother on her cistern back in 1976. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman, my choice for radio in the Cayman Islands.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And during the break, we were joined by Colin Lumsden, who is with the Georgetown Revitalization Initiative. He's the coordinator with that. And welcome to the show, Colin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy to be here representing the Ministry of Plai.
Happy to have you here. It was a nice surprise. And because you're, all part of the Georgetown Revitalization Initiative here, tell us what's going on with Georgetown. The big Friday night, we're having a big celebration on Friday night in Georgetown as it pertains to Cayman Art Week.
Yes, we've been a part of this partnership since its inception. I think it's, 6 years now?
Yeah. Six years, yeah.
So I guess for us, we've always seen art as a way of a cultural connection with the community. And this is just existentially a part of what, that old concept. And that concept would be, having people moving around the city, Georgetown, that is our capital, and experiencing something, in terms of a cultural connection and having art as a representation of that. And Cayman Islands Art Week has always, been a good representation of that. It's kind of a coming together of things, and it's unique. It's a unique event. It touches on many things, and we're always glad to be a part of it. And good to see that it came out of the it came out of the post-COVID kind of thing, and there wasn't anything to do at the time, and I think Cayman Art Week is just is now culturally part of our yearly
event lineup.
Yes, and I think it's something to be proud of, and I'm just welcoming everybody to come on out, all ages, all backgrounds, whatever. I think this is an event for everyone, and you could move at your own pace. You could do whatever you want. You have some flexibility. You have the idea of mobility, which we incorporated with this event because we wanted people to be able to move around quite easily. I think Natalie now has 50 or 60 pop-up
60 venues,
60.
20
I just never know how much it is sometimes.
Yeah, it grows.
It changes every week.
It's growing. We get people calling at the very last minute, as we said, right? So Catboat Club are now involved. And Colin, we were talking before the break about what's lovely about the Friday night event, particularly. The buses are there, and of course we've got more and more buses this year because of the demand. I think there's 6 buses that will be looping all night. Mm-hmm. But it reminds people that Georgetown is so walkable as well. And so we're really encouraging people to kick off at 5 p.m. at Cardinal Avenue, where the hub will be, and there will be some drinks. We did talk about that. But the buses don't start till 6 p.m. because of traffic, but there's so much to walk around in that first hour. So don't be too late, because it's a great way of doing the loop. 1GT, which just opened. Congratulations to you and the team on that amazing new initiative. They're going to be on the bus tour as well this year, so you can kind of walk that loop to 1GT and back. In that, you'll see about 5 venues, and the National Museum, of course, is open late that night. And as Colin just said, this is a multi-generational event. It is for all ages. So bring your entire family, come down, use the buses, and just have a great evening.
So we're speaking on the multi-generational event. We have a big focus with the youth this year as well.
Absolutely. So as Colin said, this is a post-lockdown initiative. It's about helping the artists and the art market grow. But of course, we need to feed into that with supporting the younger generation. And we're working with the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage and the National Gallery and Cayman Art Week to put on a new exhibition called Next Wave, which is opening at the National Gallery tomorrow night. There are 32 young people ranging from 16 to 20 years, and they have gone through an open call and a juried process, so a very professional process. And the 32 that have been selected are doing some really outstanding work, as are most of the students that submitted. And we're really wanting to support that kind of next generation of young professional artist. So around that exhibition, there are going to be workshops. We're sending an invitation out to the school sector that is, we can help you curate bus tours for students to come and see some of these exhibitions and galleries throughout Cayman Art Week, but also throughout the whole month of June. We're going to be sharing some of that online. And there are other youth initiatives, like I think Cayman Prep School has its own art week going on for the whole week. St. Ignatius has an open house on Saturday the 30th. Mind's Eye, which is a CNCF run initiative at Miss Lassie's, has the NCFA youth exhibition. So there's a lot of really wonderful youth initiatives that are going to be part of this year's Art Week.
That's amazing. And they always told us, well, at least my parents did, when I was interested in art, well, that could never be a career. It could be a hobby for you, but it can't.
Look at Colin and I. I think we are examples that you can actually make a living out of this work.
Yeah, very much so.
I think art is just inextricably part of so much things that we do. So many careers involve art and creativeness and all that good stuff. And I think for us in Georgetown, what this event also lends itself to is the fact that regenerating Georgetown for us is also creating a 24-hour kind of city where people are, there's things to do beyond 5-6 o'clock, and this was always curated with that in mind. I think over the years, out of any other event, this event has always brought like this kind of just this night of like normalness in Georgetown, where people are moving, taking a bus, walking on the street. I think in the past people have come to me and said, Jesus Christ, I shouldn't say that, right? Sorry. People have said to me, I haven't walked these streets in years and decades, and this is the first time I was able to move around and see things that I haven't seen in years. So I think it's almost a reconnection with our environment through art and through that cultural activity. And I think it's very unique in that aspect of things.
I think that's what art, for me, is supposed to do anyways, is to reconnect us, whether it's with each other, whether it's with nature, ideas, new perspectives. But to me, art is so much about connection. And that is one of my favorite parts, is the liveliness amongst all the people when you're out there, because everybody's in just such a good vibe. It's a good mood. You're seeing so many beautiful creative pieces out there. You're seeing some artists sell, which I think is also a big part of Cayman Art Week. And to touch on the economical part for the artists, what have you seen from the artists who have participated in Cayman Art Week? What it has brought them in terms of new patrons, additional revenue?
Absolutely. Since year one, as Colin said, we were looking to really help this market in lockdown. And straight away we saw, evidence of that success. We always do a post-event survey and ask the venues, have they had an uptake in numbers? What percentage do they think? What about social media? Because you're seeing Art Week everywhere. It's a great way of promoting these venues throughout the year as well through the platform. So absolutely, there has been a definite uptake in sales, uptake in people engaging with art during Art Week. But of course, as we say, often people don't necessarily want to buy immediately. You want to sit down and think about this. It's very difficult to engage with a work and invest in something like that straight away. So post-event commissions and just building a collector pool throughout the year, I think, has really started to make a big difference. And I think Colin and I both work in the creative industries in Cayman, and we've really committed our careers to this because we want to see this kind of blossom and create a sustainable market for all types of creativity, not just in Art Week, but throughout the year. And this has been a great platform to help to continue the journey and help do that.
We're definitely seeing a lot more with creatives in Cayman, and there is more of a platform for them, and I'm loving to see it. Not, in arts, in your traditional arts and visual arts, but also just in social media.
Yeah, and music.
What people are doing there. Yes.
You can see music every night of the week.
Yes.
More venues are actually hosting local bands, and we still have a long way to go because we're a small community, and a lot of this is only a few decades old, right? But it's incredible, and social media really has helped a lot in terms of storytelling. It's a great storytelling platform, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it also points towards what you said a few moments ago. Now, I think the younger generation could see this as a potential career. They could see some of just some of the ideas and see some of the ways that their career could go by being able to go to different studios, talk to different artists. I mean, I've seen a literal situation where a younger person met an older artist, didn't know who he was, but now that he saw who he was, had this real moment of connection. So I think it's a coming together of many things. Artists tend to be, people that sit in their own box and do their own thing. I think this kind of forces that kind of integration and that interaction. I think that is somewhat necessary at times.
Yeah, it is. It's great. I love it. And you hit a key point there, Colin, when you said, especially for the younger artists, they get to go around and kind of meet somebody else that might have been looking up to or learning about how they're doing their art, because they're able to make that connection in a career path per se and learn from that actual artist themselves. And there is going to be some of those panel discussions that are going to give you other additional insight, which I'm looking forward to
absolutely and
experiencing.
I think you touched on something that's really important, is that Art Week takes away a bit of the intimidation of going up to the artist when you see them and just having a conversation, because it's all about conversations. So sometimes, you might walk past a gallery and think, I really want to go check that out, but I'm not sure I feel comfortable walking in the door. And that's what I think Art Week does. It invites everybody in. There's some of those venues that I've walked past going, can I just walk in?
Yes.
And you can during Art Week, and people are there waiting to have conversations. So I think that's a really wonderful way of building new relationships and newer networks, which is, again, very much one of the missions of Art Week, is to build that creative network that exists all the way through the year.
Yep, opening our minds
Yes.
through art. We have to come to the end for this segment. So any last minute details that you want to leave with our listeners, please share.
I think just getting back onto the CaymanArtWeek.com website, just to help kind of understand this huge amount of things happening, venues that are going to be featured. Definitely join us on the buses on Thursday night for Core West, Core Central. Georgetown we've just talked about, 20 venues in each night, so there's a lot to see, so do get your walking shoes on. But come down to the National Gallery tomorrow for the launch. You can get to know all about this. A lot of the artists and venues will be there to talk about what they're showcasing. It's a really great way of sort of planning your week. And again, just a big shout out for our long-term partnership with GTR, Ministry of Planning, Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, Susan Oldie, National Gallery. And I think we're just really excited. Colin and I try and do the buses together, and we're excited to see what is unfolding in the next few days.
Oh, it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that as a past patron, and definitely will be.
Yes, we'll see you on the road this week. Hopefully,
you will. You will. I was on the road last weekend. I'll be on the road this weekend.
It's a busy month
in many ways.
Busy month.
May is the month of legends. What can I say? So
go.
I'm happy that May is going to be closing off with Cayman Art Week. Absolutely, everybody get out there, check it out. Go to CaymanArtWeek.com. You can see all the different venues, and remember, the buses stop at the venues. So if you can't figure out where to get a bus, just start at one of your favorite venues that you want to go to and take the bus from there. Mm-hmm. And the launch is officially tomorrow night at the National Gallery, 7 p.m. So check that out. And of course, Georgetown is having their big night on Friday as well. So much to check out. We got to go to the 8 a.m. news. So thank you. Our time is short this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on the buzz. We'll go to the 8 a.m. news, and I'll be back with you at 8:15.
Yesterday, today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The trial of Claiborne Willie Ebanks begins today in Grand Court. Here's Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks.
Claiborne Willie Ebanks is accused of causing death by dangerous driving and driving under the influence following a 2024 crash that killed 32-year-old Health City lab technician Nikhil Rajput. Mr. Ebanks has pleaded not guilty. A jury was impaneled on Monday, with proceedings set to formally open to them this morning with the facts of the case. Prosecutors say the victim was walking near the Health City facility when he was struck by a Suzuki Swift driven by Mr. Ebanks. The case is expected to last a week. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
The case is taking place in the main court building. As the National Coalition for Caymanians administration marks year one, the Premier says his cabinet is considering ways to further protect Caymanian business owners.
In the Department of Commerce, we've now issued draft and instructions, and we're trying to move a bill under the Local Company Control Law Act to say, should Cabinet now have the power to have a moratorium on business license that should just be reserved for Caymanians?
Speaking on Radio Cayman's For the Record, the Honorable Andre Ebanks says the country has qualified Caymanians with the financial wherewithal and expertise to run, quote, some of these businesses.
And it doesn't mean that it'll be absolute. We will see businesses in certain categories we say, yeah, we can't handle that and we need it. So bring that in because it's going to bring jobs and there'll be other benefits for the society. But where in particular areas like property development, real estate, they're clearly Caymanians that are doing this business. You mean to tell me we can't now have the foresight to make an adjustment? So we're going to look at other ways in which we're going to be getting a better balance in business.
The Local Companies Control Act regulates the foreign ownership and control of businesses doing local trade and commerce. And tomorrow night, you're invited to get a taste of all the 6th edition of Cayman Art Week will have to offer.
So we have the launch party in partnership with the National Gallery. That's co-hosted by Susan Oldie, who's Art Week's patron. And that's a great time to come out, meet the venue owners, meet the artists that are going to be on display. At the gallery, of course, you can see the permanent national art collection. So upstairs at the gallery, we have probably 80 local artists on display at any one time, and that's throughout the year. Wow. So that's a great place to come and get a wide scope idea about who's going to be out there.
Director of the National Gallery and Cayman Art Week founder Natalie Urquhart tells Radio Cayman, as an extra bonus, the National Gallery is opening a new exhibition that night, Next Wave, Emerging Voices in Cayman Art. It's a showcase of work by local artists between the ages of 16 and 20 following an open call by the National Gallery.
And the students that have applied to be part of that have gone through a really rigorous juried selection. So this is, they can be very proud that their work has been selected for this exciting exhibition. So it's showing you as a sort of next generation of artists coming up the ranks.
That exhibition will run through June 12th, and while there at the opening, you can also check out the ongoing showcase of Conversations in the Seventh Dimension.
And then, of course, we have the beautiful Randy Cholette solo exhibition that's on right now. If you haven't been there, definitely go down and check it out. It's a kind of a mid-career moment for Randy. It's not a full survey show, but it's highlighting his multidisciplinary creativity. So there's music, there is word and language, and, of course, his incredible paintings as well. And Randy will be there on the night doing a performance as well as being there to talk about his works.
Cayman Art Week runs through May 31st, and all events are free. Head to CaymanArtWeek.com for a full breakdown of this year's events. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Danielle Yawowiecka. Iran's Revolutionary Guard say they have the right to retaliate against violations of the ceasefire after the US carried out renewed airstrikes on Iranian missile sites and mine-laying boats. They also said their air defence units had shot down a US drone and fired at a fighter jet that entered Iranian airspace. The chairman of the oil giant BP has been removed less than a year into his job. A senior BP independent director said the board had been surprised and disappointed to learn of governance oversight and conduct issues it deemed unacceptable and had taken decisive action against Albert Manifold. A train has collided at a level crossing with a school minibus in Belgium, killing 2 adults and 2 children. Senegal's parliament has elected the sacked Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko as its new speaker, giving him a powerful platform to challenge the president. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
A pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopses indicate deep moisture across the periphery of a ridge of high pressure, along with a divergence ahead of an upper level trough, will bring an increased chance of thunder showers across the northwest Caribbean today. Conditions are expected to improve from tomorrow morning as the influence of the upper level trough decreases. Moderate to locally fresh winds and moderate to rough seas are expected today as the pressure gradient tightens over the Cayman area. A small craft advisory is in effect, and satellite imagery shows scattered to broken layers of cloud with isolated thunderstorms noted near the Cayman area. Now the forecast for today, calling for cloudy skies with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures today will be in the upper 80s with a heat index near 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, becoming 15 to 20 knots into the afternoon, and seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tonight, calling for cloudy skies with scattered showers and possible thunder, and temperatures falling near the mid to upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft advisory also in effect for tonight as well. Low tide will be this afternoon at 10 minutes past 1. High tide again tonight at 7:48. The sun will set this evening at 6:56 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:48. And the outlook is calling for a continued chance of early morning showers over the next few days as pockets of moisture linger over the northwest Caribbean. Moderate to locally fresh winds and moderate to rough seas are expected, along with a small craft advisory in effect through Friday. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere, until I attempted that switch kick double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Brit-K. Good like that. The 8 a.m. weather update. Brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
Get ready to ride for a cause. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents Ride for Sight, Sunday, May 31st at 10 a.m. Join your community at the Cayman Turtle Center and cruise through the scenic route to Lower Valley. And it's more than just a ride. Enjoy refreshments after the event and know that every mile helps the Lions Sights program and the LCIF Foundation. Make a real difference in the community. Sponsored by Cayman Distributors and the Cayman Turtle Center. For more info, call 916-7634. That's 916-7634. Don't miss out. Ride for a cause. Ride for sight.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's check out traffic, see what's happening on the roads. I can see a broken down car just before you get to Jose's gas station on Cool Road, so be aware of that. Traffic moving along at a moderate pace on North Sound Road, and traffic is slow moving on Cool Road. Further up on Shamrock Road, moving at a moderate pace. Further down, a little different story as traffic steadier as you approach to the Lidford Pearson Highway, and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and Agnes Way, steady traffic. Expect some delays. Edward Street flowing at a moderate pace, and North Sound Road moving at a moderate pace as well. Industrial Park area moving pretty good. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing pretty good in both directions. From the West Bay 4-way stop flowing at a moderate pace. On the West Bay Road in front of Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. If you see any other accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6-990. That's the latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning and drive safe.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And in this segment, we're going to be talking about a milestone that we're celebrating this month of May. Like I said earlier, May is the month of legends. So what can I say? It's the best month of the year. My birthday happens in May. I want to say happy birthday as well to Natalie Urquhart, who was just on with us. She told me in the break that her birthday was actually yesterday. So happy birthday, Natalie. She's a Gemini, but I said, we're going to pretend you're Taurus gang for now as well. So Like I said, the month of legends, and in this milestone that we're celebrating this May, it's 20 years of the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium. It's an organization dedicated to strengthening the assets that help our young people thrive. To mark this anniversary, the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium is launching a bold new rebrand of Celebrate Our Youth Day into the Youth Asset Fair, Youth Opportunity Expo, an initiative inspired by 5 former youth parliamentarians who signed the Supporting Cayman Youth Proclamation last year. To tell us all about this, because this is all news to me, a whole lot going on, and especially to hear about the rebrand, I'm welcoming Dr. Sylvia Wilks, representing the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium and Caribbean Youth Assets. Dr. Wilks, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yes, 2 days in a row. We're on a roll.
Well, you weren't on me with the other days, and this is my first day back. So
right, yeah, I was on. We were here yesterday with OC, so that was nice. So I'm glad to be here with you, Kathy.
And I saw you last month, and then you said, Kathy, I'm going to come on soon. I was like, yes, because the first time that I had a bit of a longer discussion it wasn't long enough. That was the first thing.
Right.
And we got into just a real good part of a conversation that I just didn't want to end, and I hate it when that happens.
Right. Yeah, I know those good conversations. Yes.
Yeah. But
glad to be back.
Yes, you're back now. So, as I mentioned, we are celebrating 20 years, so it's 2 decades of the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium. So, what does that milestone mean for you and the organization?
Well, I've been preparing to move on to doing other things, and you mentioned Caribbean Youth Assets. I've been concentrating on duplicating what we've done here in Cayman to other countries. And I think when I was doing my doctoral studies and I was releasing part of my studies, we had that conversation. One of the things I did with my doctoral studies was to include Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Jamaica, and of course my country, Cayman Islands, the National Youth Policy. And I think it's a good opportunity now for me to go on and help the other countries that I included in my doctoral studies.
Oh, okay. I love this.
Yep.
So the vision is definitely expanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
Cayman is home to the consortium, the Youth Development Consortium in the Caribbean. So this will always be the place that this started.
And what exactly is the Youth Development Consortium?
So it's an organization that brings together different persons to promote the developmental assets, which are the 40 things that help our young people to succeed. So youth organizations bring together parents, schools, because all of them make up the developmental assets. These are from this Search Institute, which is located in Minnesota. I had an opportunity years ago to attend training there, where so that I could do training, and that's one of the reasons why I want to also do training with other Caribbean countries. I'm not sure if anybody else in the Caribbean has done that training since I did that, because that was a long time ago. But I want to be able to promote all the things that help our young people to succeed, all those things that help our young people to thrive. One of the things I had not mentioned is that even persons who've experienced trauma, this particular tool can help them to be resilient or transilient. Now I learned this new word at CUC's Women's Conference last week. Transilient, moving forward. So it's something whereas if persons have experienced childhood trauma, you can get them involved in programs that helps them to normalize and help them. And it's kind of my story as well, because I had a childhood trauma, and being involved in sports, being involved in youth group, all those things helped me. So I know it helps others as well.
It definitely does. I also, speaking from experience, 100% does. And having different youth clubs, like for me, it was the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
As well. I'm sure they were like, are we ever going to send this child home? But I loved it because there was just so much activity going on, things to do. And then it also allowed me just to kind of make things happen. So if it was a quiet afternoon there, I was able to kind of create whatever, and other kids would come and join. And it, I never realized how pivotal it was in my life until I got a little bit older. So I understand. I love that.
One of the key things as relates to the assets as well is that the more assets a young person has, the more likely they are to succeed. Now, I'm a bit biased with some of the stats in that I believe in family, because part of my studies is, in marriage and family as well. But even if family home is not the greatest, still having adult role models being involved in these activities can help an individual who may not have the best home life as well.
I see a breakdown of family a lot more lately. I would say maybe in the past decade, I see the idea of family almost weakened, as in, it's, you don't have to have a 2-parent household. It's not important anymore. I was raised by a single parent and I turned out fine. But I don't agree with the breakdown of family. It worries me, per se. Are you seeing that?
I think there is an ideal, and the ideal is having mother and father there. It should be the place of example of what two loving people should be. But as you said, that might not necessarily be the case. And even that, if that's not the case, there are persons that can help the family. So you have role models, you have uncles and aunts, you have other family members that can contribute to the child's life. So because we know life happens, things are happening where, that contribute to those factors. But it's very important for people to know that we should be a village, and we should be people that are helping others to thrive.
I 100% agree with you right there. We have to be connected with each other and help each other how we can. I think that's a large part of our purpose.
Certainly.
Out here. Good morning. I'm also welcoming to the studio. We have another guest in here. How are you doing?
I apologize only being able to get here now.
That's okay, but I got to get you to introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Casey Jackson. Miss Sylvia is my mentor, and I'm also helping her with CIYDC. So,
can you just move the mic a little closer to you, please, from the bottom? Oh, yeah, grab it from the bottom there, move it closer to you. Thank you very much. A lot closer, actually. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're good. So you won't have to lean forward. All right. So these are the housekeeping things we do earlier. It's all good. You said Dr. Sylvia is your mentor.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you get involved with the Youth Development Consortium?
Well,
yeah, I was at we had a conference. She was actually my student at UCCI, and there was a sociological conference, and I was expecting them to be, there to, celebrate me and cheer me on. But Casey and this other dude in the audience were asking me tough questions because I was talking about the developmental assets. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to use you. I'm going to involve you in. And so I involved her in an event that we had last November, right? We had a webathon, or we tried to have a webathon. And so from that, I'm like, okay, secretary, you can join our group, So there you go.
What kind of tough questions were you asking, Casey?
Well, I was asking her, since she was talking about CIYDC, I was asking her like how she would manage the rates of growth, how she would be able to tell one different district from the other. I think I also asked her with funding as well. So I asked her a lot of internal harder questions.
What's your draw to the Youth Consortium? My
draw is that I really like the concept of CIYDC. It's almost like the middleman. We direct, we find a youth, we see what their issue is, and then we also see what their assets are, and then we direct them to the assets instead of them just dwelling on their issue. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I can agree with, because we tend to somewhat harp on our shortcomings per se, rather than realize what we're good at and zone in on that. And I think it's so important to recognize what you're good at and continue doing that, and start with the other things, and you'll build that confidence to hopefully do whatever else you want to do, right? But there's so much criticism out there and kind of that's given to us. We don't just magically criticize ourselves from youth. That's a voice that's planted in our head. It could be from a parent, could be from a sibling, often our teachers, usually somebody a little older than you, right? So the criticism comes in and we think we can't do certain things. We inhibit ourselves per se because of these other voices that are planted there. So I think it is so important to recognize this is what I'm good at or what I enjoy.
Right.
And to be able to if you have the luxury of time to be able to do that, invest your time in building in that skill or whatever it is that you enjoy doing.
That reminds me of, there's another organization I'm involved in. It's called Family Foundations. And one of the things that we encourage people to do is to bless their children. And that's because when you bless a person, you empower them to prosper and do well or thrive. It's simply saying good things about that person. So, you're smart, you're good looking, you got a lot going for you, because when you do that, it deposits seeds of positivity and encouragement in an individual.
Yes.
So those are some of the things that we encourage. We don't do that enough. We tend to, like you just said, do the opposite.
Yep.
I
100% agree with you. I just think for the parents that are out here listening to this, it's so important to speak that positivity in your child and not just, you got to get an A, you got to do better, you got to be the best in your class. I get that, I get that, but also not everybody is great at formal education or taking tests. Their brilliance might come out in other ways, and it's being able to kind of recognize that, and how do you hone those skills, and how do you support somebody, and parents, your child's life is not your life to live your second life through, which can happen often as well.
But since you mentioned that, input equals output. If you are not reading with your child, right, from very early, and you're expecting the teacher to be able to teach your child how to read, and you didn't put the work in at the beginning, then, you can't expect something that you've not invested and contributed to. Spending time with your children, taking your children to events and activities like the Youth Asset Fair, signing them up for clubs, taking them to sports activities on the weekend, even though you want to chill and rest. You have to invest, so that when you expect the A's, you will see the A's because you've invested.
Yes. Yeah. I 100% again agree with you there. Now, we have a little bit of a rebrand going on, right? So instead of Celebrate Our Youth Day, it's turned into Youth Asset Fair, the Youth Opportunity Expo. What brought about this change?
Well, when we had the webathon last year during Universal Children's Day, I asked the 5 youth parliamentarians that contributed to it, Zara Majid, Jaren Reynolds Velasquez, and some others. I asked them, I'm going to give you a hackathon, right? Come up with ways in which communities can promote the developmental assets. And they came up with 10, and they blew me away because it was a few days that they had to do this. And I think it was the morning before that the event that they sent it to me, and I was like, it was really it's a really good production of, or stemming from the Supporting Cayman Youth Proclamation, which they signed a few months prior. So I'm really elated about it, and the Youth Asset Fair was the very first thing that they mentioned, and I was like, you know what, this is similar to what we do for Celebrate Our Youth Day. So I'm like, I'll yield to the young people's ideas, So I was like, what do you guys, when we started the new board, I was like, what do you guys think about, using Youth Asset Fair rather than Celebrate Our Youth Day? I had to humbly, yield to that. They were like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because Celebrate Our Youth Day was usually in January during Support Our Youth Month. But we shifted it to May last year after election so that we could have the new ministers sign the proclamation, because we do that every 4 years. That's the Supporting Cayman Youth Proclamation. So we're like, okay, let's do Youth Asset Fair instead of Celebrate Our Youth Day in May. So that's how that came about.
And you picked the month of legends.
Yes, the month of legends.
That's what we're terming May. So I want to know more about what do we mean by youth assets, and I believe you also mentioned developmental assets. So we're going to take a quick commercial break right now. When we get back, we're going to get into the meaning of what youth assets are. Yes.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Looking to explore your future in Cayman's insurance industry? Join us at the Cayman Next Gen Insurance Forum on May 28th at the Marriott. This free event is designed for school leavers, university students, and early career Caymanians, with parents also welcome. Learn how the insurance and reinsurance industry works, hear from young professionals, and connect directly with people in the field. The event runs from 2:30 to 6 p.m. with refreshments provided. Register now at imac.ky or follow at iMac Cayman on Instagram for more information. Hosted by iMac, Circa, and CIIA.
Grow your business with Breeze 105.3 FM and Radio Cayman. From spot packages to full campaigns, we've got rates that fit your budget and your goals. Email our sales team today, rcsales@gov.ky. That's rcsales@gov.ky. Let's get your message on air and reach listeners who trust us every day.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are in studio. We are talking about the Youth Asset Fair and Youth Opportunity Expo. This is with the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium. And in studio with me, I have Dr. Sylvia Wilks, who she put the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium all together. She's the founder of this. And we also have Casey, I forgot your last name already. Jackson. Who she said Dr. Sylvia is her mentor. And you're part of the board now?
Yes, ma'am.
You're part of the board. And what is your role on the board?
I'm the secretariat, and I'm also head of the Invigorate Ideas Committee.
Okay, Invigorate Ideas. I like this name. All right, which that's exactly what ideas are all about. So I asked the question right before the commercial break, and it was about the term youth assets. What are youth assets? And it was also mentioned developmental assets. So if you could explain to us, what are youth assets?
So the youth assets are the developmental assets.
Okay.
There are many youth assets. They're like 40.
Yeah.
At the expo that we're doing, we have tried to secure as much individual other type of, I guess, business or institution that links to the said assets. For youth programs, we actually have 6. Cadet Corps, Chess Club, Protect Our Future, 345 Robotics, Duke of Ensburn, National Youth Culinary. Yeah.
Culinary?
Yes.
Yeah.
For family support, we have the Family Foundations Caribbean. There's multiple subcategories, and then there's categories to those subcategories.
So when we're talking about youth assets, they're the tools,
right?
The things that the youth needs in order to hopefully have a fulfilling life.
Yes.
Right. So there is 8 different categories, right? That all 40 fall under.
Okay.
So the first 20 are the external assets, right? Which if you think of, like I said earlier, input equals output, the support of family, school, community, empowerment, given opportunities to serve others, safety even, as well as boundaries and expectations, and then constructive use of time, which are the youth programs that Casey just mentioned, all adds to what we would expect from our young people, which would be commitment to learning, positive values, social competencies, and positive identity, which are the internal set of the assets. So we mainly focus on the ones targeting young adolescents, which is, I think, is from 11 to 17, thereabouts. But there are a set of assets for younger age groups as well, middle age and early childhood as well. Those you find more responsibility on parents and persons who are, surround them. But when we have this set of assets that we focus on, it gives you more idea of what young people are responsible for, especially as relates to the internal assets. That's why we kind of use that to give people an idea of what that would look like. So it's very important for people to understand that not one entity, not one person, not even one home can contribute all of the assets. So we need everybody to understand the important role. So schools can't provide everything because they're not going to provide all the support that a young person need, because they need that from home and from community, right? So it's very important for us to look at the assets and say, oh, I have this child, this young person that's not involved in activities they need to be, because this will help them to thrive. This will help them to succeed later on. So you can't wait till they get older, haven't been involved in pro-social activities or did enough to build their skills, and then now want to put them in a program thinking that's going to work. It doesn't work that way. We're a day late and a dollar short by then. So it's very important for us to have that understanding where the assets is concerned.
And is there, like you said, with the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium, the assets or the age group that you're focusing on is 11 to 17?
Well, initially, because even the summer camp that we did, the very first summer camp that we did in 2008 was from 13 up.
Okay.
But then my nephew, which was young at the time, said I was not catering to his age group. So we went down to 10.
Okay.
And then I had parents that were like, but our children, we want our children to attend as well. So we went down to 7. And then we still had people to send their 6-year-old, and I think the very youngest was 5. But, it's very important, because even earlier, and when you think of year 6 going into year 7, the transition between primary to high school is a very critical time.
Yes.
And if you don't get it right, these young people are going to gravitate to the things that they should not.
That's the question that I was getting to. Is there a reason why at a certain age we're looking to focus on the youth of this kind of age term that you gave here? I go back to my own experience, and for me it was elementary school went up to 7th grade, and then it was just high school, 8th, 12th. We didn't have no middle school. So when people are talking about middle school, I'm like, I don't know what grades those are. And it is absolutely shocking. And I don't know how exactly it works in Cayman, but it is shocking to enter 8th grade, and then you have people who are 17, 18, like you might just be turning 12, and you have people who are 17, 18 that are, bullying you, picking on you, trying to date you maybe, which is crazy as a young person. But it is such a difference, and that's who you're looking up to, because they're the older kids.
Right.
They're the cool ones that are going to be graduating. They seem to have all these privileges. So what happens to us in that age? Because I can tell you I went wayward 100%.
Okay. It's, and I think that because of what the investment that people have made in my life, has helped me to, has been one of the reasons why I want to contribute to others as well. Because I remember when I went to middle school. I'm at that age where, yes, I was one of those that went to middle school. So we kind of had that transition, but even so, there were still older kids there that, we had a fear of. And the bus system had it where we had to stop over at high school too. And oh my gosh, there was one time I was like the only kid from middle school on the bus, and that scared me. I mean, I was so scared, right? But anyways, I remember when I went over to middle school, I didn't know anyone. These were people from different parts of the country. And I remember I remember vividly the very first day, my lunch kit, I didn't know we could purchase lunch. Everybody else was purchasing lunch, and I brought my lunch kit, and I was the only one with a lunch kit. And I was like, but as time went on, getting involved in different things, I used to hang out after school, and Mr. Harper came one day, and he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, my brother is involved in your track club, so I'm just waiting for him. And he's like, what do you do? I was trying to convince him that I couldn't do anything, right?
Because he's going to make you do an event.
I was like, well, I can't run. And he's like, well, if you can't run, you can throw.
Yeah.
And so, because I was ill from primary school, which it didn't allow me to do that, right? So he's like, okay, come. And he taught me how to throw discus and shot put. And I eventually went and represented my country, Miami Classics. And so I made a presentation once at TEDx, and I mentioned him as one of the persons who was my asset builder, one of the persons that contributed to my life, and that helped me build my self-esteem, So there are persons, and I want to implore to other persons, there were people who contributed to you. Remember that and make a determination. I want to help somebody else as well, because I know of the persons that helped me.
Yes.
The coaches, the youth workers. I made mention of Mr. Willis yesterday. Before I started CIYDC, I went to him just before he passed, and I said, sir, this is my vision. This is what I want to do. And he was like, don't make this be something that you start and you don't finish. And that challenged me. And I think that's one of the reasons why I kept it going as well. So we need those people. We need those asset builders. And I want to encourage more people to be asset builders. They may have been asset builders and not realize that they were asset builders. But when you contribute to the different developmental assets, that's what you are doing. You're contributing to the investment that our young people need. And it's simple stuff. It might mean just checking in, just making sure that you're in your program, that you're attending your program, or do you need a ride? Parents may not necessarily have the transportation. I will pick you up on a Saturday and I will take you to your soccer match.
Yeah.
We need those people.
I agree with you. I feel like there's a group of young girls in my neighborhood, which I'm always walking my dog, and they love my dog. They all know my dog's name. Nobody knows my name. But whenever I see them, I can see them maybe hesitating to do certain things, and it could be just crossing the road. And as simple as, are you waiting on your parent? They're like, yeah, let me take you across the road, because I know the parent trusts me to do so, but the kids also trust me to do so. And it's just so they can go join their friends, whatever it might be. And it might be the simplest thing, but it's that interaction that I have with them. It's also the cutest thing, because I look forward to it. I look forward to hearing what they're doing, and
that's important.
Giving my kind of perspective back to them, and it's great just hearing what's going on in their lives.
You have contributed to a community that values youth.
Yes.
That set of assets. I've been so indoctrinated into asset building, right? That even when I'm traveling, reading for pleasure is an asset, right? So even when I'm traveling, I'm like, and I see children with gadgets. I don't know them. I don't know their parents. And this is me. Have you read a book today? And I'm like, where is your book? The strangest. I saw this. I saw these young men in the airport. I think it was Miami, and the guys, they were walking in the airport and reading at the same time. I was like, do you guys do this all the time? And they were like walking and reading, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is like, reading for pleasure is an asset. I saw this parent once, the airport here. And I was like, can I take a picture, please? They had to be like 2 and a 3-year-old, right? Brother and sister. And they had them there with their books. Right? I was like, oh my gosh, what a scene. That's so awesome. And it was because I'm just into the assets. Reading for pleasures and assets. So when I see them on their gadgets, it's like, oh my gosh, where's a book? Let me get a book.
But they're reading.
Yeah.
But they're reading. But I'm with you. I'm more of a printed book person by far. You'll always see me that. I will never have a Kindle. Anything that's not going to happen.
I mean, those things are good too.
They are, but for me, I'm not a converter.
When you're spending so much time on it and you're not learning anything from it, that's a problem, man.
No, there's something about a book that I just need to feel the pages and smell them. Don't ask me why. It's a weird connection I have, but I get it. But I didn't know reading is considered an asset. So
yes, it is. Reading for pleasure.
We got to go to our next commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to hear more about these assets.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The 25th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Hope, is here. Presented by the New Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 28th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Awesome performances by Rico Rolando, Erica Asai, actress Caitlin Tyson, Dequan Smith, UCCI Dance Company, Radiance Dance Studio, Center Point Limited, John Gray Kitchen Band, and Starlight Elite Strings, Michelle T, and more. Tickets cost $15 CI prepaid or $20 at the gate, and available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner's Circle Sports. Talent Exposition of the Arts, Hope, hosted by Anika Jefferson and Lloyd Parker. June 28th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Gates open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Part proceeds from this event to benefit the Pines Retirement Home. For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, bringing you the news, the music, and those moments that matter most and more. From the vinyl days to the digital wave. And now, it's time to celebrate you. This Thursday and Friday, we're giving away exciting prizes on air as we continue to mark 50 years strong. Tune in, listen out for your cue, and you could be walking away with something special just for being a part of our journey. Thank you, Cayman Islands, for 50 incredible years. Radio Cayman, yesterday, today, and the next 50.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. Yes, it's me, and I'm back from my little vacation. So thanks for hanging out with OC while he was hosting for me. And welcome back to me. So in this segment of The Buzz, in this last 15 minutes of this segment, we are talking about the Youth Asset Fair launch, the Youth Opportunity Expo, which is put on by the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium. And in studio, I have Dr. Sylvia Wilks, who's the founder of CIYDC, and Casey Jackson, who's a board member with CIYDC. Casey, I know you were telling us what some of those youth assets are, which are development assets, as Dr. Sylvia explained. And I interrupted you a little bit, so if we can go back to what these youth assets are. There's some 40 of them.
Well, like she said, there's 8. There's the support assets, which is about like a lot of the first ones are like your environment, like environmental wise, like family support, empowerment assets, like youth as resources, boundaries and expectations assets, family boundaries, school boundaries, and constructive use of time assets, creative activities, like I said, mentioned the youth programs. And then on the other side, there's commitment to learning assets, positive values assets like caring, equality, honesty, like your morals and social judgments. There's social competences assets, which is like planning, decision-making, cultural competence, which is very important, especially in this day and age.
Culture competence?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's positive identity assets like personal power, self-esteem. It's a lot like the hierarchy of needs, but it's like more like broken down and simpler for like the youth to understand, for them to really like skyrocket.
Now, as a younger person yourself, when you see these youth development assets, is there any that you're like, oh, I don't know about this. This is not something I want to touch on, or something that you really appreciate in there?
Well, I think I would appreciate all of them. I have always been like, okay, if I need to get something done, then I need to do it. My mom has always told me to do it, to be like that. But I am quite introverted. So in like regards, I think I usually lack in like the environmental ones, like going up to someone and say, hi, I don't know you, can you help me with this, X, Y, and Z? Even if I do know them, but I have been working on, Mrs. Sylvia has given me much confidence.
Awesome.
So yes, I think they're all very much needed.
I'm going to say you don't seem introverted at all. You're here on radio with me speaking like you always do.
There's introverted, there's introverted, and then there's lack of confidence. I have confidence.
Okay, good. Okay, interesting. I like it. Now, what you had said also, which I was like, hold on, cultural competence. Why is this an interesting asset?
It's an interesting asset because, like, me personally, I find like other older people, even like some people my age, they can be like very narrow-minded to like new types of things. I remember
yes they can, Casey.
Yes, they can. So especially with like how like people always say like there's a small world, but there's also like there's a small world but there's like a big population, which is what I say. And with that population, there's different backgrounds, there's different ethnicities, there's different, even like your own family could have like their own routine, and that's like a different culture from yours.
Yes.
Right? And because of that, it's good to have like the competency to know how to deal with that, know how to respect that, even if you don't agree with them, like you know how to be with them, how to like still live amongst in peace and harmony. And it's very important to learn that at a young age. Very important.
I think that is so key, what you said, especially to learn that at a young age, because to me, I understand it as cultural intelligence. And we often hear it's a big problem in the Cayman Islands that expats like me will move here with my own Canadian culture and somewhat Eastern European, a little bit. My family is from Serbia and Croatia. So there's that influence of their culture, which does not fit Canadian culture, which also is very different to Cayman culture, or sometimes say like a Caribbean culture. But learning about how we all do things differently, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Not the best analogy to use all the time, but there's definitely more than one way. It's so important. And I think a lot of narrow-mindedness can stem in families, especially from an older generation. You know, your parents speaking to the kids. And if we're speaking about a certain way about a culture, and this is the, you know, as a young Caymanian child, and all of a sudden you're hearing this and that and this about expats, you're growing up with this mindset of how bad expats are, or how bad a certain nationality from one of your neighboring Caribbean countries might be. And none of that's not true. It's not true, but you're being taught this. So that's a little bit of that cultural intelligence and that cultural competence coming together. And I think from you being so young and realizing, no, you have to have all these perspectives and appreciate it, and you can learn from it. That is so key. I think that's a great thing, and I hope a lot more people tap into that asset. Yes. What about you, Dr. Sylvia, from what you've seen, especially with the CIYDC and the assets that have been introduced? Do you see assets that children kind of shy away from, or that we need more work on?
When we, for our summer camp, it's done all around the assets. And one of the very first things that we do, we have students rate themselves from 1 to 10 on each of the assets. And the assets that tend to rate very low our homework, reading for pleasure. And then when we explain positive family communication, when we tell them that it includes talking about violence, talking about sex, that rating goes down. They're like, we can't talk to our family about that. But what it does is it gives us an indication of where they're at, where each of the assets is concerned. One of the things that this does for me, it helps me to realize what our young people are involved in and what they're not. It also helps me to kind of almost give me an indication of their mental state. So like for the last or the latter set of assets, which is like sense of purpose or positive, all the positive identity assets, whether it's self-esteem, sense of purpose, or personal view of future. If those are low, that says to me that something is going on that makes them feel that, life is not worth living. And those are indicators that we need to pay attention to. Because if most of our young people are saying that we don't feel like we're valued by our community, we don't feel empowered, we're not involved in activities that makes us feel like we're empowered, then it helps us to, okay, what can we do to make sure that this is not the case? So that's one of the reasons why I'm really adamant about the community proclamation that we're hoping that the 19 electoral districts will sign. Some of them, 3 of them have confirmed having a representative there because we think it's very important to be more intentional as it relates to what our young people need to succeed. If you know that there are 40 things that will help all of our young people to succeed, then you would want to support that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think so, yes.
Right. And again, because we talk about when we see violence, when we see young people being delinquent or not doing so well in school, we tend to judge, we tend to criticize. But for me, what I was thinking this morning as well, I take responsibility for whenever our children or young people are not doing well. I'm like, we did not, Child Month, see me, hear me. Did I see it enough and do something about it? Did I hear it enough? Was I listening to our young people? But before that becomes the case, what was I doing before things become an issue? Because the developmental assets focus on the positive. It focuses on the strengths. We know what they need. We're going to provide that. So we're not focusing on the deficits. We're not focusing on the problem. We're focusing on the things that mitigates those, right? We have the foundation, of course, a biblical foundation, but we need to build on that as well, so it's very important. I think that all of the assets are very important.
Okay. Now we have the core purpose of the Youth Opportunity Expo. That's part of why we're here, what we're talking about, right? So we moved it from the Youth Day to now the Youth Opportunity Expo. The Youth Asset Fair, Youth Opportunity Expo. Tell us about this, when it's taking place. What is this event all about?
So that's this Saturday, May 30th. So this is at Cayman Bay Arts and Recreation Center from 10 to 3. But don't come at 10 o'clock. Come early, come 9 o'clock. Talk to the people at their booths and so forth. Because we want it's a networking opportunity. It's an opportunity to see people, that you don't see in a long time. So bring your friend, come. Parents, bring your children. Don't just send them with your neighbor. Come as well.
There will be food, so
yes.
you don't have to worry.
Yeah, Jamo and his National Youth Culinary Group
Nice.
doing burgers and hot dogs. So looking forward to that. There'll be youth performances. There is a fashion show where the focus is on the assets, not the fashion. So it's a showcase of the assets using those who are fashionable. And, Her Excellency will be there. Minister Isaac Rankin will be there. So, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be grand. We're planning for it to be grand. We're hoping for it to be grand.
Well, I hope so too. So this is the first time where you're doing an actual fair.
Yeah, Youth Asset Fair.
Okay.
So it's a little different from Celebrate Our Youth Day. There's more focus. I didn't mention show and tell. There's more focus on the programs itself. So there's a show and tell where each program will get an opportunity to talk about what they provide. There'll be different activities that the young people get, will be engaged in as well.
How are you attracting the younger people to the event?
We've reached out to the schools directly. So, and we want some more schools to actually get back to us and let us know that their students are attending. So far, we've heard from Johnny Cumber Primary School, Joanna Clark Primary School, Marie Martin Primary School. So looking forward to the rest to say, yes, our students are attending. Because, again, it's very intentional. We want, we don't want to just send out the flyer. Oh, I don't want to go. Mm-hmm. No, we want you to select students, have them come, because it's very important. Because we want them to take the information into their schools as well.
Yes. So, Casey, if you could say anything to the youth about coming out to this, to the Youth Asset Fair, what would it be?
I would say I would say that, like, if you can come, then come. Like, you won't leave there without getting something, whether it be food or it be something of your mind or something of your heart. You won't leave there empty-handed.
All right. And it's a free event, right?
It is a free event.
It's a free event starting 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
So come before 10.
Yes.
That's what Dr. Sylvia says, come before 10. You have maybe 30 seconds if you want to give any last-minute details out to our listening audience or anything you want to know.
We hear the term Caymanians first.
Mm-hmm.
The way in which we put our Caymanians first is by giving them the tools and resources that they need to succeed. Let's do it early. Let's start early by giving them the assets. So come out and learn about the assets and how you can be a part of putting Caymanians first. But there's also others among us. There's children and young people from elsewhere that we also need to take care of. They're on our turf. We need to take care of them as well. Yeah. Come and learn how we can all contribute to the development of our young people in the Cayman Islands.
People always say that Cayman is very much a place of opportunity, but I find that now it's good you have to look for that opportunity. And the Youth Asset Fair Day is very much telling you what opportunities are there for the youth. And you just come. Just come. That's all I have to say. Just come.
Just come.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me on The Buzz this morning. I got to go to the 9 a.m. headline news. And then we're going to have a little bit of a musical talk right after this.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With the Grand Cayman launch party kicking off tomorrow, folks in Cayman Brac are getting things started a day early with a Cayman Art Week opening reception, art exhibition, and silent auction. Heritage Register Reimagined, Cayman Built. Tonight's event is from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at Eldemeyer House and will feature art, music, and refreshments. In international news, the U.S. said it launched new strikes on southern Iran Monday, targeting Iranian missile sites and boats attempting to place mines. The U.S. Central Command COM said in a statement the strikes were in, quote, self-defense and designed to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said today it had downed a U.S. drone and fired a fighter jet and another drone that entered Iranian airspace. It added that Iran had the, quote, legitimate and definite right to retaliate against any U.S. ceasefire violations. And Israel's military says it has begun a wave of strikes across Lebanon following an announcement by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that his country will intensify its attacks on Hezbollah. The Israeli Defense Force said it had launched strikes against Hezbollah in the eastern Bekaa Valley and other parts of the country. Hezbollah, a Shia Muslim armed group in Lebanon backed by Iran, said it had retaliated by carrying out 22 drone and rocket attacks and that its targets included Israeli soldiers, tanks, barracks, and buildings. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I said we're going to have a bit of a musical talk in this segment here. So I am happy to introduce Sean Hennings. Y'all have to know who he is. If you don't know who he is, I'm so sorry. But I know that all my listeners have to know who Sean Hennings is. He's a producer, songwriter, drummer, and multi-instrumentalist. And many people will know him from the group Hitide, which has been entertaining the Cayman Islands for a really, really long time, right?
33 years now.
33 years. Yeah. Good morning, Sean. How are you doing? You're doing well. 33 years. I was going to say maybe 2 decades, but 30, okay. You put another decade on me.
Yes.
What is that like for you, just going back and thinking 33 years well, that's with Hitide.
That's with Hitide, yeah. It doesn't feel that long, of course, but it's why I remember that Hitide started when my son was born.
Okay.
And he's now 33, so he's going to be 33. Yeah, so that's how I'm able to remember.
Okay, that's I love that. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of a history of you as a musician and how you got into music and all the rest. And as I understand, you've just put out a solo album.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I did listen to it a little bit of it last night because I was like, hold on. Last time we had somebody come in, I had no idea they put out new music, and I wasn't prepared for that. So I did listen. You did put it out. Was it May 1st?
The EP, the solo EP. Yeah, May the 1st. Yeah.
May 1st. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I know I hit it right there. Okay. So let's go into your early musical roots. Let's start there because this was news to me. I didn't know either, but that's why we got Susan, because she has this knowledge for sure.
Yep.
I understand that you started out in a high school rock band called Eclipse.
That's correct. Yeah.
So the oldest band that I remember from Cayman is Memory of Justice.
Oh, they were way before us.
Okay. All right. Well, they were before you guys, but I didn't know about Eclipse. So how did this band come about? What drew you to them?
Just a bunch of high school friends that all loved music. We were all into music, and I guess that's what brought us together as friends, is all being so in love with music. And at the time, we weren't instrumentalists. We didn't play any instruments. We got together and said, okay, you play this, you play that, and that's how it started. I always had a drumming skill.
Okay.
But I never had a drum kit, but I just knew. Looking at guys like MOJ, I used to follow them.
Right.
And
we all play the air drum.
So we started without
any musical knowledge, training.
And you must have heard of Junior Jennings, Mr. Jennings, music school. We all rushed to him and started taking lessons on different instruments. He taught us all. Yeah.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to form a band. None of us know how to play any instruments, but...
and I guess when you're a lover of music and you have that, like I knew I was a drummer before I had drums. And so it was easy. Mr. Jennings didn't teach drums. So I just to be part of my group of friends, I went in there and learned guitar with those guys as well.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up knowing some about guitar, but I was the drummer.
How did your drumming skills come about then? Like, did you train yourself? A lot of musicians do.
Yeah,
which I'm blown away by.
I did drumming less. I did a course later on in my musical career. I went away and studied drumming, but just up until that point, it was just self-taught, looking at other musicians and
that is amazing to me. Yeah. I used to have a guitar teacher I just wanted to learn guitar solos. This was my thing. I used to want to have a punk rock band as well. I went through many phases in life, but one of the things was I just want to learn guitar solos. So I would just bring them like a Led Zeppelin solo or I don't know if you know the band Jane's Addiction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so they had this 3 days beautiful guitar solo that I was in love with. And the guy would just sit there and listen to it and just kind of pick at the strings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? Because even with the notes and everything in front of me and I'm getting it wrong, I still couldn't piece it together like that. It's a brilliant mind when you can pretty much self-train yourself on a musical instrument.
We had not much choice in Cayman back in the 80s there. There was not a lot of musical education per se, so like it is today. So we had to figure it out ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, so it started with Eclipse, and then you joined Network.
Yeah, and that was around the time when the Eclipse guys, we were finished high school. Most were going off to university.
Okay.
I wasn't going anywhere.
Okay.
I just wanted to be a musician. I already knew that, but I got into the photography business, and this band Network, who a great cover band. They were an excellent band. I always admired them. Their drummer was from the BRAC, and he was heading back to the BRAC.
Okay.
So one of the guys reached out to me because Eclipse was, all the guys were gone now, and I went and did a tryout with them, and I thought I did good. They all went outside and spoke, and I was sitting inside. They're gonna. And they came back in and said, okay, we're going to give you a chance, only to find out years later that outside they were like, this guy can't cut it. He's not ready. He's just a little kid. But one of the members said, let's give him a chance. And that's how I became Network's drummer, and that's how I really progressed as a musician.
And then it was no regrets from them, I guess.
No, I held my own.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to go back to when you said you knew from high school that you wanted to be a musician. That was it. Like you weren't interested to.
I told my friends, and any one of my high school friends would tell you, like what are we going to do? What and everyone was planning their education and etc. And
what was in your mind?
I just wanted to be a musician. I always knew.
What did that mean to you?
To be honest, I didn't know what it meant because no one else had that
career,
that dream.
Yeah.
So like. Am I stupid? What am I doing here? Because the music scene then was okay. There were bands playing, but how can you make a career? Everyone,
you still get that today.
Even in my family,
you make a career?
You got good grades there. Go get a real job.
Right. Yeah.
But I was adamant about being a musician.
And how did you start off? Making money from this? How were you able to sustain yourself?
Well, the Network band back then, when you're that young, working in the day and working in the night is not a problem. So I worked, like I said, I got into the photo business, which was fun for me. It's art again, and so I worked in a photo lab every day. And then Shane, the other part of Hitide, he ended up coming to that same lab, and all day long we were singing and harmonizing while we were doing. Printing pictures, doing enlargements or whatever, and then later on when Network's singer left, he became Network singer.
Okay.
So he was part of Network.
So you kind of brought him in per se.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's we weren't making money to survive as musicians. That's why we had day jobs, but we had our plan in place.
Okay. Well, now you got to tell me what the plan was. But I love that that's how you and Shane met, and you started a Network, and then you went and formed Hitide.
Yeah. Well, we admired the barefoot man, his energy, and that he worked every night. And we were like, he can't be the only guy that can do that around here. so and such a great businessman he is as well. And we looked up to him and his whole approach to the music scene. So we just followed that, but not in his style of music, in our style of music. Yeah.
How would you describe Hitide style?
Well, it's acoustic, kind of easy listening, but it has a Caribbean vibe in almost every song.
It does, yeah.
Even if we don't know, because sometimes we're playing a song and people would say to us, "That's cool how you added the island vibe to it." And we did. We didn't even know, so it just comes out.
Maybe it comes out in the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah,
as
it just
well.
comes out naturally. It's what we are.
Yeah, it is. It's it's interesting to me because I'm like, well, it's island music, but it's also not like it draws influences from other genres of music.
Yes.
But it just fits Cayman so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a soundtrack to
Yeah.
of Cayman
our
to me.
music is a melting pot, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Cayman.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it there. Okay, so your evolution as a musician, you went from Eclipse to Network and then to Hitide.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when Shane came in sometime last year, he spoke about doing music on his own as well. And so now I'm speaking to you. Does this mean Hitide is done, or you guys are just doing your separate projects?
No, not done, but we want to do a lot less. We feel burnt out as Hitide, the regular performance. We're not done. We'll always do things.
Good.
Right, but like throughout the years, when we created music, he would bring stuff, I would bring stuff, and there was always stuff that this will work for Hitide, and there's stuff that we rejected. So mine that got rejected, that's still for me. His that got rejected, it's still for him. So why throw them away? Do your solo.
Do your solo
do your solo things. Yeah.
Okay, so how has it been approaching the music industry now as a solo artist, because you've been part of bands and then you were a duo, now it's you're doing things on your own?
As a performing solo artist, I've never done it. Just a recording solo artist. So to go out there and perform as a solo artist, I haven't done that as yet.
Okay.
Because I don't consider myself that kind of singer. To be a singer, that's a tough job. The guys who do that, I admire them.
Me too.
It's amazing.
Especially the ones like absolutely cannot carry a note, but for some reason
Some
we love
go
them.
out there and,
It's just like, you can't tell me Bob Dylan could carry a note. You really can't. But we love them.
Yeah, we do.
Same way. So that's the interesting part about it. Sometimes you can have the most amazing voice, and we're not, always listening to you per se. So it's interesting how music hits us all kind of differently like that. So you haven't yet performed solo.
No.
But you have put out your EP. So Wonderful Day, that was the EP that I listened to last night. And there was a couple things in there, and I had a line that I was like, really, Sean? that I was going to repeat today.
What did I say?
I think it was something like, who's your daddy? Does he have money like me? Something like that. And I was like...
Oh, that wasn't Wonderful Day. That was the other song. That was a cover song. That was...
okay.
That was... oh, God. Time of the Season. That's a cover song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cover song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would never write those words.
I was just like,
But it's such a cool... And the reason I wanted to do that
song
is because of the drumming. It has really cool drumming in it. So I wanted to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I listened to that EP yesterday, and I think one of the things that stood out to me was, yes, it's a sound that I'm familiar with when it comes to you, but what stood out was, I can't remember if it was 6 songs entirely, but 3 of them were just, a regular version, right? Original kind of a mix. And then you had an EDM version, which is electronic dance music that I understand that's what EDM stands for.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So how did you make that transition?
Just for the fun of it, because I like EDM music, and but I never go clubbing or anything like that. To when I see that action, I say that's not for me. But to still, as a musician, if you have the ability to do it, why not? I just thought it was fun to experiment with EDM. Yeah.
And that's the thing about, especially with DJs, like when you have a really good DJ and they can get kind of any genre of music and find it and mix it in. Yeah. And that blows me away, that I'm like, am I hearing a classical song in like something with dancehall, which could be, it could be completely crazy, but it works.
It works, yeah.
So when I saw you do this, I was like, okay, I almost feel like you're making your music more accessible as well to other genres, and to see it get mixed in. And I'm like, I see what you're doing here with that. So what has the response been with that approach?
The response has been great. And I put it on this digital DJ charts, just threw it out at them. And it's doing well on those charts. The cover one.
Yeah, okay.
Time of the Season. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
It's doing well, yeah.
Okay, we got to go to a commercial break because I missed it a couple minutes ago. So let's go to that commercial break and we'll come back in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, bringing you the news, the music, and those moments that matter most and more.
From the vinyl days to the digital waves.
And now, it's time to celebrate you. This Thursday and Friday, we're giving away exciting prizes on air as we continue to mark 50 years strong. Tune in, listen out for your cue, and you could be walking away with something special just for being a part of our journey. Thank you, Cayman Islands, for 50 incredible years. Radio Cayman, yesterday, today, and the next 50.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. Yes, I'm back from my vacation. It's been a great show, a great welcoming back show. That's what I have to say. Welcome back to myself on my show. It's been great so far. Thank you, Susan, for organizing it. We're talking with Sean Hennings right now. And Sean, you know him. Everybody knows him as part of the duo of Hitide, and we are talking about his solo music that he's been putting out. So I was just talking about his new EP, Wonderful Day, which I listened to on Spotify, and we were talking a little bit about the EDM versions of some of the songs he has in there, which I love because I did not expect Sean to have that. So I feel like you dabbled in something new,
yeah,
and that's all what what being a musician is about. Also dabbling in something new. Do you ever feel that you want to try something and you're not sure how your listener base or your fan base might take it, and it might shy you away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened. And that's why I did this on my own, because I'm not sure the following that we have for Hitide, I don't think EDM would go over too well with them.
Okay.
They're not all, but the majority of them are like that beachy acoustic, like Jack Johnson,
I was just gonna say
Jimmy
that
Buffett,
yes,
type stuff. That's what they're into, and that's what they know us for. So we don't want to stray too much from what that fan base likes. But on our own, as solo, as Shane or as Sean, we could dabble in anything really.
Right. No, I think that's awesome. Okay, so you also had another solo album, To the Beat of My Drum. That was your first one?
First one, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was your
a few years ago, yeah.
Okay, so coming off of that project to Wonderful Day, was there learning points that you took from the first solo album to this EP now?
It was pretty much the same sort of process, but nothing is really, I guess, because of so many years of recording with Hitide, doing the first solo album was a breeze. One thing I must mention, that just about every local artist that played on my album played for free. Every single one of those guys. So
that's pretty amazing.
I owe back to many musicians.
Yeah.
So moving forward, anyone who wants my services, I'm not charging, because I got that from just about everyone.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
One of the local artists that you worked with was Quincy Brown. I understand you produced an album for Quincy.
Yeah, he did 2 songs on my album. He sang 2 on my album. And just one day out of the blue, this was like 2 years ago, 2024, I was just sitting out in town, And he walked by and he just said, in Quincy's voice, "Sean Hennings, I want you to produce an album for me." And I said, "Okay." And that was just the start of it. And he asked the songs that he did on my album, if he could redo those, but, differently. And I said, sure. And then he brought the other songs that he wanted. And in a matter of a year and a half, maybe we put that whole album together. And it's there and it's ready. But Quincy has his problems, so he's, I'm not going to do anything until he hopefully can work out
what he's got to work out.
What he has to work out.
And he's such a talent, so
the guy can sing, you name it, he can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great talent. Yeah, sing, act, a whole bunch of things. Yeah. I'd love to hear that because, as I said, Quincy's a talent. It's the fact that you produce the album as well.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear that. That's a bit of a treasure right here in Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll get to experience this album. So Quincy, if you're listening, if anybody out there knows Quincy, I'm sure you all do.
That is a great album. Let me tell you.
Jump back on this horse. We want to hear this.
Yeah, and it goes through a lot of genres too. There's pop on it. There's Caribbean stuff on it, and then of course Quincy loves gospel music. So there's gospel in it as well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A little bit of a melting pot of music right there
of
too. Okay, now there's also an upcoming album you have, To the Rhythm of My Hands.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this one.
Okay, this is just. It's more. Just a few weeks ago, it was just a thought in my head, but since then, it is starting to progress. I'm finding the best of Cayman, at least what I grew up listening to, which is what I got an MOJ song, Barefoot Man song, Mel McCoy song, Aunt Julia song. I'm picking a bunch of songs that I've grown up
loving or listening to.
And getting inspiration from,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to sing them. I'm going to do them as guitar instrumentals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I was just thinking like it was just going to be drumming right there.
It's going to be drumming.
Yeah.
That's why I said The Rhythm of My Hands.
Yeah, okay.
Because I didn't want to call it Beat of My Drumming too, because there's going to be guitar, a lot of my guitar work on it as well. So.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's strictly an instrumental.
Yeah, there might be some maybe singing of the chorus or something like that.
Okay.
On some of them, but it's just instrumental. Which, when the average person here locally, when they hear the song, they would know what song it is.
What song? So this is more of an homage to some of your favorite musicians, Caymani musicians, and the songs that you grew up loving and that had an influence on you.
Yep. Okay,
I like this. Is there any, I guess, end goal for that project, or it's more of a passion
It's a
thing?
labor of love sort of thing. I'm just doing it because I want to. I don't expect anything from it. It's just something to leave behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, venturing out as a solo artist,
Mm-hmm.
and you haven't performed yet as a solo artist, do you have any upcoming dates?
No.
Or we just see not yet?
Nothing yet.
Are you working on?
Hitide is just super, super busy right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
There's no time for anything else really.
Do you want to do a solo thing?
The only way I can start that it would be to some intimate setting that I could kind of feel it out to see if it's something that I can I am comfortable with. Because I've always been the background, from drummer to whatever. I'm never been the front guy.
Don't tell me you're also an introvert.
Big time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just so interesting to me, because our last guest said she's an introvert, and I was like, no, but you're speaking so easily, like it's nothing, right? And as a musician, I know I would never think that you're an introvert, because you have to be out there, you're performing, you have to interact with people.
People think I'm unfriendly, but it's just that I don't have much to say.
Okay, it's a bit of a challenge then, per se, in that sense. Do you like the interaction with people?
Yeah, I do, but not small talk. No, just
straight about the music and the vibe and
yeah.
Okay, what else as a musician would you like to accomplish? Because I'm hearing just some dreams of your own that you're fulfilling as a musician. What else do you want to do out there?
To be honest, I feel lucky and blessed with all that has happened for me. As Hitide, we've had some very close calls with major labels, and it's never happened. But
I think Shane was telling me a little bit about a story there with that. Yeah,
it's never happened. Something always came up that blocked it from happening. So it's just not meant to be. But there's so much more to music or being a musician than the record label thing, you know.
What is it? What is it that's more for you than just being signed to a record label and making it huge? What does it mean for you?
It's become a career, and it's this cliche, but as they say, when you're doing what you love, you never do a day's work.
Right.
Yeah. So
people say it's cliche, but I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people who aren't doing what they love.
I love what I do.
You know, maybe they say it's cliche because they don't want to hear it themselves. Mm-hmm. They're stuck doing something that, you know, they don't love.
And let me just tease everyone who has regular jobs. Mondays is never really a music day. So everyone is working on Monday, and I'm never working on a Monday.
You're never working on a Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me say I just came back from Brazil, and Monday is also the biggest street party that they have in the entire world in Rio.
Wow.
Every single Monday,
Oh,
it
wow.
is the biggest street party
That's the
you
way
will
to start the
ever
week.
experience. Yeah, it's how I brought in my birthday too. But it definitely was a way to start the week, and it just really stood out to me. I was like, okay, no, these people are really they're going to go hard every Monday. Doesn't matter, matter, you know. So I get that.
That's good.
It's the people really don't like Mondays a lot. I think of it as like the best day of the week because you get Monday done right. The rest of the week kind of follows. Rest of the week
exactly.
follows. So when it comes to a career in music in Cayman, and I know a lot of people are thinking about it. I spoke to my first guest when it comes to the arts. You're not necessarily always encouraged to find a career when it comes to arts, and you know, music is hand in hand with arts.
Yeah.
So when people are contemplating it, what would you say to them? What kind of a plan do they need to have?
It really is a tough choice because the thing with arts or music, arts in general, sometimes it's just luck, because you could be the most talented person in whatever art form you're in and never succeed, and then someone who's not that gifted, it just the right path happens for them, you know, and so if you love it, just give it a shot, but it can be heartbreaking too.
Oh,
it can be heartbreaking. Yeah.
Well, most things we love challenge us in ways and can make us uncomfortable, but will grow us.
Of course,
hopefully.
Of course, yeah.
But it's possible to have a sustainable career in music.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Okay, and you're proof of that. Very much proof of that.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on The Buzz this morning. The show's come to an end. I know it's it's a quick half hour. I love talking about music and hearing about people's experiences. Music is something that, for me, I always thought I was going to work in, because if there's one constant in your life, besides maybe it could be religion for some people, but music was a constant in my life. And I just look at it as it describes different genres of your own life.
Right, yeah.
Different, times that you're going through from childhood to youth. It's like a soundtrack of your life, and music is always such a part of it.
Music is always there.
Yeah.
And just, like if you're watching a movie, just almost every second of the movie, there's music.
I used to want to be a composer, to do score for the movies.
Score,
yeah.
yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
Completely was like, wow, like that's just what sound does to you is incredible. Yeah. So I think it's awesome that you've been able to grow and sustain a career in Cayman as a musician. And I think it's a testament of what can be done and what people can still aspire to.
Yes.
Yes. So go check out right now, because you just put it out, Wonderful Day, the new EP. Check out, of course, all your music. But I'm a Spotify listener right now. So I'm telling people, go to Spotify. It is on there. I can tell you that. Yeah. And check out the EDM versions, because I just think that's such a very cool way for you to transition your music and make it available to other genres to enjoy as well. Yes.
Alrighty.
All right. Thanks, Sean, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
To all my listeners, I know we went a couple minutes over today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back with you on Thursday. It's the last week for the month of Legends. The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And